Hello everyone, I'm Sam. Today I will talk about the movie The Time. The longest unit in life is time, because it's always endless. The shortest unit in life is also time, because all our dreams have not been realized, then time is gone. In the future world, time is no longer a capital that can be wasted. All humans' genes are set to stay at the age of 25. No matter how long time they live, their physical characteristics will remain at 25 years old. At the age of 25, the clock on the arm will enter a 1-year countdown. After the countdown, people's time will be cleared, which means death. The only way to continue to live is to get more time through various ways, such as work, loan, gambling, and even robbery. Therefore, the time would become the only currency in this world. You can buy a cup of coffee in a few minutes, and take a bus in a few hours, pay the rent in a few days, or buy a luxury car in a few years. The whole world is divided into 12 time zones, and the 12th zone is the lowest slum area. People there could get very little time from work, but the living cost is constantly rising, so the people's living burden continues to increase, and they can only watch the passage of time and struggle to survive. So there will be some people who die helplessly because their time is cleared. Will is a normal worker in the 12th zone, and he lives with his mother. He wakes up every day and checks the clock on his arm, and the clock always shows there is only 1 day left for him. Just as the other people in the slum, Will can only make use of every minute to work to earn the next day's time. Although he has complaints, he works hardly every day. One day, after finishing his work, Will goes to a bar to find his friend, who is drinking there. In the bar, Will met a drunk man, and he has more than 100 years. Will kindly reminded him to leave there quickly, otherwise someone will rob him. However, before Will finished his sentence, the time robber rushed into the bar to rob the drunk man's time. Will rescued the man from the robbers. They fled to an abandoned factory building, preparing to wait until dawn. The man said he has lived for 105 years, and now he still has more than 100 years in his life. If used properly, he can even live forever, but he feels he has lived long enough, so long that he has forgotten the meaning of living. He told Will the reason why the living cost in slums always increase, because the rich can ensure the slum people could die before reaching the actual death age. The rich can use this method to rob the poor for living forever. If you want a few people to live forever, the most people must die. He asked Will, if you have as much time as me, how would you use it? Will said, I would never use it to waste time. In the morning of the next day, the man gifted Will over 100 years of time. He only left himself 5 minutes, and then sat quietly on the fence. He is looking at the world peacefully, facing the impending death. The man felt extremely relaxed, as if it was a relief. Will woke up and realized he had more than 100 years on his clock. Will tried to find the man, but only found a message on the window. Don't waste my time. Will gave his friend 10 years to thank him for his help in these years. Then he decided to take his mother to leave the slum. But what Will didn't expect was his mother paid the loan and now has only 1.5 hours left. But the bus ticket price suddenly doubled, and she could only run home if she couldn't pay the bus ticket. No one wanted to lend her time. Finally, her mother died. Will hugged his mother's body in the empty street, crying helplessly, and the time guardians suspected Will killed that man. At this time, Will was on the way taking a taxi to the rich area. Although the high tolls in each time zone surprised him, but it also strengthened his belief to overthrow the time system. After coming to the wealth area, Will met a wealthy man in a gambling house. The wealthy man has more than 9,000 years. Will followed his bet and finally won more than 1,000 years. Will's behavior caught the rich lady Sylvia's attention. Will and Sylvia both have good impression of each other. Soon, the time guardian found Will. Will told him the truth, because it's ridiculous that someone suicide due to their long lives. The guardian took off Will's time and only left 2 hours for his transcript. Then Will was enraged and seized Sylvia to escape, but they were caught in a trap set by time robbers on the way. The time robbers took the opportunity to steal Sylvia's time. When they woke up, they realized that they both had only a few dozen minutes left. Will took Sylvia to seek a friend for help, but the friend's wife said her husband died due to drunk wantonly in the bar. There was more than 9 years left on his arm when he died. Finally, Sylvia sold her diamond earrings for 2 days. Then Will called Sylvia's father, threatening him to send 1,000 years to the time relief bank in the slum. The next day, Sylvia realized her father had not paid the time. Will decided to let her go back home and give her a gun to protect herself. Meantime, the time guardian rushed over there. Sylvia shot the guardian. Will looked at the guardian who fell to the ground. But Will not only didn't kill him, but also gave him some time, so that the guardian can leave the slum safely. Then Sylvia took Will and robbed her family's time bank. They declared to provide free time for everyone in the slum. Everyone rushed to take the time in the bank before the time guardian arrived. Will divided the robbed time among the slums, so that everyone doesn't have to live a life with fear. But then Will and Sylvia noticed the living cost in slums increased again. No matter how they help the poor, as long as the living cost in this time zone continues to increase, because they spend all their time in saving up. Sylvia thought of a good idea. She kidnapped her father with Will, and they found 1,000,000 years stored in a safe box. Such a large amount of time flowing into the slums is enough to collapse the time system. Sylvia's father advised them this behavior could only change 1 or 2 generations' fate, and in the end, there will be polarization and their efforts will still be useless, because people are greedy. Everyone wants eternal life, and everyone thinks they have a chance to live forever. Will and Sylvia didn't hesitate and shared 1,000,000 years to the slum people. Then they hurried back to their residence to get their spare time. But they were stopped by the time guardian who came to arrest them. When Will and Sylvia's time almost ran out, the time guardian fell down. Because the time Will gave the guardian before disrupted his time supplementary system. Then Will ran into the time guardian's car and added time, and Will transferred part of the time to Sylvia. This time he succeeded. He didn't miss Sylvia as he lost his mother. They hugged and kissed each other. At this time, people in slums can afford the checkpoint cost. They aggregated to drive to the wealthy area to get rid of the poor life. The time system that maintains social order collapses. Perhaps this is also the beginning of another new order. In Time is a science fiction film released in 2011. The movie concept was 5 stars, but unluckily, it was made only 4 stars. The story frame is large, but the contents are not so full. A better story should have been told, but falling into a normal story. The latter part of the movie feels ordinary, and the routines to save the world is not new. Under the framework of the story setting, we could find more and deeper things, but the director just tried the same, just changed a concept. If the time in the movie was exchanged for money, it will be a cliché of robbing the rich and helping the poor. The movie was recommended by a friend and said it was a good concept, but I think if the director can make more effort in finding depth, it should be a better story. After all, this is a good material, but it didn't meet a good sculptor. So that's all for today's commentary. If you like, don't forget to follow and subscribe to it. See you next time.